Hey everyone, this is Roman from Silver Dog Games, and welcome to Devlog 2 of Operation BLACKSUN. In the last devlog, I've mentioned that I'd have at least a start on the next big item on the roadmap, being client-side prediction, and that is unfortunately not the case. In the past 2 weeks, I've been very busy with my day job working on 2 projects simultaneously. However, in my free time, I've managed to get some work done on the game. The first update that I'd like to cover is actually a small but much needed bug fix that's been driving me crazy. That is, when the player aims down sights with any weapon and attachment, sometimes the crosshair, red dot, or reticle wouldn't be perfectly lined up with where the bullets are shooting. After spending some good time reviewing my code that handles this sort of logic, I've managed to find a simple fix for this problem, and now aiming has never felt so perfect. Please note, as of now, shooting doesn't include bullet drop. This is a definite feature that I'm planning on implementing, and I already have a solid prototype created that does exactly that. I'll be covering those details on how it works a little later in the video. The next update I'd like to cover is the ability to transfer weapons and attachments to their respective slots. A common attribute in the player's inventory is having the ability to move items around, but only if the target slot is valid for that item. Since the player will be capable of carrying 2 weapons with attachments they either find in-game or from a loadout, I had to implement a system that supports transferring these items on the server and displayed on the client. I'm really happy with where it is at the moment, as the inventory system now supports item swapping with a compatibility check when attempting to perform this kind of operation. All I have to do is identify what type of item a certain slot can hold, such as a magazine going into a magazine slot for a weapon, and do a simple compatibility check before completing the insertion. In the case of swapping magazines between these 2 weapons, the caliber does not match, so the swap is denied and the mags are returned to their original slots. Now I'm still debating on whether or not sights can be applied to any weapon, because it is technically doable in real life, at least for most weapons that support optical mounting via their top rails. I like giving the players as many options and combinations as possible to increase gameplay dynamics, but some cases may just be unrealistic and inappropriate, like having a 6x scope mounted on a 9mm pistol or SMG. If I do decide to make restrictions for the weapon a sight can be attached to, I'll just have to add another check for whether the weapon can support the sight attachment or not. As you may have already noticed, another new feature that's been added to the game is impact decals. I'm very pleased with the outcome, as I'm using a decal system with the universal render pipeline. Normally you wouldn't be able to use the legacy decals with projectors since it isn't supported in URP. The workaround is using a special shader which projects a material, including a normal map and roughness map, onto whatever surface the bullet hits. Along with a bullet hole decal, there's a particle system which simulates debris and dust. I have to do a lot of tweaking with the particle materials, and I'm still working on it since some particles don't look quite right when in direct sunlight. The last element I've included with the bullet impact effect is an audio clip that is played, indicating that a projectile flying several hundred meters per second impacted the surface with a satisfying Back to the bullet drop mechanics I've mentioned earlier. It's a system that uses a series of raycasts which are sequentially casted, starting with the first segment casting out from the gun's designated shoot point and stopping at some predefined length. Then the next raycast will start where the last raycast ended, except with a slight angle pitched down. This is controlled by a variable called gravity string. Each time the raycast is created, there is a very small delay before casting the next ray. This delay simulates bullet velocity, again controlled by a variable. As of now, this prototype only casts rays until it reaches a certain length, say 1000 meters, or if the ray cast hits a collider. Yes, this works great, but then I started thinking about adding bullet penetration. The weapons in this game need a good way to portray power and lethality. I want the player to think that they're holding a gun, not just a ray caster. Simulating bullet penetration is fairly trivial once you get a grasp of how it works in terms of using ray casting. All it takes is using more ray casts. Just shooting them backwards rather than forwards, we can understand if a wall or other object is thin enough for the bullet to penetrate it or not. Set by a simple value called penetration threshold, we can have the raycast called wall check shoot out from the initial hit point in the inverse direction of the original raycast, with an offset defined by the penetration threshold. If this raycast reports a hit, then we can safely say that the original raycast or bullet can successfully penetrate the wall. If the wall check raycast does not report a hit, then the wall or whatever is being shot is too thick and stops the simulation, returning the original raycast's hit data. Going back to the case where the wall check raycast does return a hit, from there we just simply set the next shoot ray segment's starting position to the wall check's hit position and resume the simulation. Please note this method is all theoretical and needs to be tested. An additional feature that could be added into the simulation is a counter to check how many walls or objects have been penetrated and eventually end the bullet's travel simulation based on a specified limit, which can be defined by the bullet's velocity or caliber or a combination of the two. Again, this method is just explained in theory and still needs to be tested. Those are the main updates I've managed to at least get a start on. There's still a lot of work to be done in regards to the networking side of things, with the main focus still being client-side prediction, server reconciliation, entity interpolation, and lag compensation. Yes, it seems like a lot, but it's a crucial feature which will allow players to move and shoot each other without wanting to Alt F4 after playing for half a minute. In my last devlog, I've mentioned that I would at least have a start on this, and I unfortunately didn't have enough time to get around to it. I want to have enough time dedicated to implementing this feature and not be constantly interrupted and stopping my momentum. That's why I've at least added the before mentioned features in order to get some progress on the game. Anyways, that's pretty much it for this devlog. I hope you enjoyed watching and stay tuned for the next video. Please go follow the Operation BLACKSUN Facebook page and Instagram account so you can get more frequent updates on the development progress. Link in description. Also, please consider subscribing and giving this video a like, as it helps support me in continuing development, and you'll be notified when the next video comes out. This is Roman from Silver Dog Games, and thanks for watching Operation BLACKSUN Devlog 2.
On client. Wait, how do I open it?
Yeah, just
open it with
extract. Once you download it, extract it or decompress it, and then it's the .exe file.
Yep.
Dude, that is terrifying.
Oh, I see it. I see it.
Dude, 6 times.
Oh! Did I snipe you?
Make this a PDF. Was that you?
Yeah, I just sniped you.
Yeah, you
Open
did.
with zip extractor, right? Zip extractor.
Wait, do I have to extract it? Ready? Oh. What? I shot like 4 bullets and I had to reload. Not friggin'. Okay, and it turns my DPI down to 12. That's a lot of files. Dude,
Oh, yeah,
my gun has like 3 bullets.
Oh, because when you die, it doesn't reload your gun.
Oh, no scope.
Wait, 460 megabytes? What? Wait, what? Oh, the game's small. I
Like
thought the game would be
downloading a
bigger.
game.
No, I know, but that would be. Oh, cool.
What's that's not like the. Oh.
Yeah, sniping's a lot
I'm just
better.
kidding. I have like 4 holographics in my inventory now.
I'm like extracting every.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
I thought it was a sniper, so I stopped shooting. Okay, Roman hacked and gave himself a health boost, by the way, guys.
Nope, I'm 1 HP now. You hit me 3
Oh,
times.
it's only the
4
holographic
times.
sight. For the holographic, I have it on the sniper right now. Whenever I turn, it's like on the left side of my screen, then the right. Like it's delayed. Like it has like 200 pounds on it.
Ah.
How do I get in game once I've extracted the?
I know where you spawned.
Okay.
I know where you spawned.
That was so scary.
Oh my god.
Where'd that bullet hit? Oh!
Yeah,
You lag.
deleted the other folder with like the previous,
Is that you, Kaylin?
no.
Yeah, bro, it's just Roman sweating.
This is glass, by the way.
Yeah, I know. I figured that out.
Okay.
Wow. You spawned behind me?
Oh my ear! Oh, you blew up my ear.
Your rib cage, dude. Dead.
Where are you?
Miss. Miss. Headshot. Look at you use it SMG, dude.